Okay, just a minute, just a minute. Okay, now we are on live. And let me hit the broadcast button as well. Meanwhile, Yogendra, if you can monitor the participant tab. Okay. So let's get to the started this topic. First of all, thank you very much, Dr. Osama, sir, to accepting our invitation for this webinar. And today's webinar topic is about MOOC things, right? So massive open online courses right now available in the lockdown things via various sources, let's say Coursera and all things. So before starting this webinar, let me introduce the professor. He is assistant professor at the University of Bahrain and have a PhD from the Bristol, United Kingdom. And he's also a fellow of the Higher Education Academy, UK. So over to Professor. Professor, we can start. I think during this pandemic, I think the online education is the best, the best medium to deliver the knowledge and, teach the education or a kind of a topic through the various online tools such as Zoom and all Google Meet, Google Classroom, and so. So yes, sir. Over to Professor. You can start. Thank you very much.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, or good morning. Now it's the time 10 o'clock in Bahrain, 10 a.m. So I think it's around 12 in India, right? First of all, I would like to thank you all. I would like to thank Professor Rasan and all the team who organized this webinar. And I'm really happy to see you all. I have lots of communication with Professor Brassam online, and this is the first time I meet him. And I'm also happy to see and meet the other faculty members and as well as students in your respected university. Just to introduce myself, my name is Osama Al Mahdi. As mentioned earlier, I work in Bahrain University and I work in Bahrain Teachers College. In this college, we try to prepare and train teachers, in-service teachers and pre-service teachers. We have different programs and we always focus on using IT and technology in learning. And this webinar would be one of my attempts to showcase some of the examples we can use in learning and in professional development. So as my colleague said earlier, and this time we are facing lots of challenges and lots of difficulties, and we need to utilize this time in order to invest our efforts and our energy in something useful. Everyone might be anxious and feeling a bit, maybe scared about the situation. So the best thing is to try to focus on something useful just to make yourself relax and more. And hopefully by the end of this challenge, we will be able to look back and see how much we learned throughout this journey. So today, I'm sure all of you have excellent understanding about the topic of MOOC, but in my presentation, I'll try to collect few ideas and organize some points in order to have a chance to discuss them later on. So I'm not going to take lots of time. I'm going to show some examples, talk about the idea of MOOC, and then we will open the discussion to share our experience. So it's not a lecture, it's just a way to exchange ideas. And I know that many of our students in India are really passionate about using technology in all fields of life. So we'll go to the PowerPoint presentation. I hope it's clear. Okay, so the topic of today's presentation is using massive open online courses, MOOC, as a tool for lifelong learning. We always hear about lifelong learning. We always hear about professional development. So how can we use this type of technological tools to help us to further our understanding and improve our lifelong learning? In the past, it was enough for anyone just to get a certificate from the university, find a job, and then stay for that job for, I don't know, 20 years without having any professional development. That was in the past. But nowadays, technology and knowledge and skills are always changing rapidly. They are changing day by day. So if we don't catch up with these changes, and if we don't improve our understanding and knowledge, by the time our university skills and knowledge will be expired, would be obsolete. We always need to learn and to expand our understanding. So, well, I'm going to focus on 3 points in this presentation. The first point is an introduction to the 21st learning skills. What do we mean by 21st century learning skills? Are they different from the learning or the skills that we acquired when we were in schools in the 90s or in the 80s? The second point is to explore different resources of online learning, such as OCW and MOOC, and I'll explain this later. Simply or basically, I'm going to talk about something called open courseware or massive open online courses. These courses are available for everyone, anytime. You can learn them according to your schedule. You can take some tests to, to check your understanding. These are very useful and it's available for everyone. And I'm going to show a few examples of these tools. Finally, I would like to share ideas with you to reflect on how these resources can be used for us as faculty members, as well as for our students in the university or in schools, how they can utilize these tools to expand their understanding. So these resources can be used as a lifelong learning tool and a continuous professional development. As you know, in all jobs, we need to do professional development. We need to improve our skills. People who are working in banking, people who are working in health sector, people who are working in educational sector, and every field, we always need to improve our knowledge and understanding in order to cope with the changes and the challenges we are facing. Let alone what we are facing today in the COVID-19, where everyone is, anxious and the situation is not really clear. What we are going to do next year, what we are going to do in our universities, in our schools, in our jobs. People would need to change their career. They might need to find other jobs. So here, I'm going to talk or exchange ideas about how these lifelong learning resources can be used as a way to improve our understanding. So from your point of view, what are the most important learning skills in the 21st century? Because I cannot see the chat, so if you like to write your ideas and your answers for this question, we'll have 1 minute just to think about it. So I'm sure that in our mind, we can see, I found a few answers here. Adaptability, oh, this is a really important point. We need to adapt. We need to change ourselves in order to cope with the changes or the challenges we are facing. Some people will say, well, I graduated from university and I have a degree in finance or a degree in accounting. We'll say, oh, that's great. But now you know that digital or artificial intelligence might replace accountant in the near future. There are many digital ways to replace accountants. So what we are going to do, we need to adapt with these changes for, let's say, to equip ourselves with new skills, technological skills, which help us to move from being traditional accountants to digital accountants. Teachers, doctors, lawyers, all these jobs might be replaced in the future with machines who can think and act in a way. So people who are designing these machines are the people who are required in the job market in the next few years. Our children now go to school in year one, and we teach them in maybe in similar way that we've been taught when we were children. But their future is really different from our future, because in their future, when after 12 years, after they finish schools and go to the university, maybe the whole university is different from what we are seeing right now. The labor market will be totally different. So we need to equip them and to make them more adaptable. And we need to begin with ourselves as faculty members in universities and university students. Okay. So, sorry. What are the most important learning skills in the 21st century? I try to summarize them in this simple and nice diagram. We have life and career skills, learning and innovation skills, which we call the 4 C's: critical thinking, communication, collaboration, creativity. We need also to learn about information and media and technological skills, and we need to have the soft skills, which are called life and career skills. I'm not going to talk about all these points because we have only, let's say, half an hour or 40 minutes, but I'm going to focus on only 3 points. And for those who are interested to learn more about the 21st century, they can have the PowerPoint and read the content. I'm going to focus on 3 points. The first one is life and career skills. We always hear about soft skills. What do we mean by soft skills? What do we mean by critical thinking? What do we mean by communication? What do we mean by creativity? We need a solid example to show us how we can learn those skills, right? We always hear about innovation. What do we mean by innovation? We need clear examples to show us what do we mean by innovation. Also, ICT skills. What do we mean by ICT skills? I'm going to focus on 2 things: life and career and ICT. Here in teaching, we as university faculty members, we are facing different tasks or different responsibilities. Now we are always talking about accountability, talking about quality assurance. We also need to do professional development. We cannot just hold a PhD or a master's and say, oh, that's all I need to become a successful faculty member. I need to do research. I need to improve myself. So what are the examples or the tools which can help us to develop more? Okay, my suggestion here is to go to the internet and use our smartphone, our laptop, our internet, and something that can help us to improve gradually. So every day I would learn a little bit. And by 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, I would be specialized in an area. Let's say I want to learn a new language. I'm going to travel to another country, immigrate to another country, let's say Germany. And I want to learn German. I don't need to go to a private institute or to hire a private tutor. I can learn German language online. Let's say for me, for example, I want to learn more about statistical analysis. I want to learn more about Python programming language. I don't have any idea about how to use Python programming. So I said, okay, now I have plenty of time. I'm staying at home most of the time. Why don't I just go and see what do they mean by Python? What do they mean by C++? What do they mean by Java? What do they mean by mobile technology? I have plenty of time and I can study every day for 1 or 2 hours. So most of us would have a favorite online learning website, which we always use and visit. If you like to write in the chat, what's your favorite online learning websites? We'll just have half an hour. Sorry, half a minute. Sorry. I'm just checking the time. Okay, we have an answer here. Still. Okay, MIT OCW, that's great. Thank you, Mr. Sharan, sorry if I don't pronounce your name right. Kalwani, thank you very much. Right, this is one of the best examples that we can begin with. You are reading my mind right now. Excellent. And I'm sure you have many other, many other online websites, but I will begin with this one. Okay. What is OCW and MOC, MOOC or OCW? OCW means open courseware, which are course lessons created at universities and published for free via the internet. So we can go to a very high and prestigious universities around the world, and even our national universities, and we will see that they are offering open courseware. These are full courses. You can see the videos, you can hear the audios, you can see the PowerPoints, you can read the materials, and you can do sometimes the tests. And it's free for everyone. You can go to MIT, you can go to Yale University, you can go to others, which I'm going to explain later on. And there you can find full courses free for everyone. Someone would ask, why do they offer these courses for free? It costs them because they record all the sessions for one course. Let's say Introduction to Accounting. So they will video all the sessions, the classes for that course, Accounting 101. They'll offer the PowerPoints and they offer the tests, etc. Let's just think about this question and we'll answer it at the end. Why do these universities offer these courses for free? We'll answer this question at the end in the discussion. There is another type of online learning, which is called massive open online courses. Massive, which means it's really huge and big. It's an interactive step-by-step course aimed at reaching unlimited number of participants worldwide to create a community of lifelong learners. So in OCW, they'll just give you the videos, the audios, the materials, and say, okay, you can go and study them according to your time. But for the MOOC, it's more organized. So they break the whole course or the materials into little bits. And in each bit, you would have a quiz or a question or an assignment, a short assignment. And at the end, you will see your progress. So for example, I can study a course in critical thinking. And this long course will be broken into little bits. And each bit will be connected to the other. So you don't have to see the whole lecture for 1 hour like the OCW. You can just work for 15 minutes, 10 minutes. And this is more manageable because most of us would not have time to stay or to sit for a long period studying the same thing. We will feel bored or busy or something. But for the MOOC, it's broken to little parts. So you can just study that course 15 minutes a day or half an hour a day, depending on your schedule. And it is more open. There is always forums for discussion. You can meet with other people from all around the world. For example, and I'll show you this website, FutureLane. In FutureLane, I had the opportunity to meet with people from all around the world because we are studying, let's say, statistics or data analysis. And you can see in the responses that there are people from India, from Japan, from Ecuador, from America, from South Africa, from Egypt, from Liberia, from all around the world. And this would make you really happy because you don't feel isolated. You will see that there is a community of learners who are interested to learn something that you like, you have a passion for. And this would be really great, because once you see the importance of the topic you are studying, there are many people around the world looking at this topic as important, then this would encourage you to go further and to continue your studies. And you can comment on others' points of views, and you can communicate with the instructors as well. Okay, I finished the theoretical part. I don't like the theoretical parts. I like the practical parts, and hopefully this would work well. So let's see some examples. I'm sure in your mind, there are other examples which you thought about while I was explaining this, and I'm looking forward to discuss these examples with you at the end. So the first one, like our friend said at the beginning, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, and this is a screenshot of their website. I'll just try to move this here. Okay. Let's go to their website. I hope Professor Prasan can send the PowerPoints to the participants at the later on, so they can have all the links. Okay, so this is MIT. This is MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. It's one of the really well-known institutes for studying, and it's really respected and prestigious university. We'll go to find courses. As you know, there are so many things to do. See, unlocking knowledge, empowering minds, free lecture notes, exams, videos, no registration required. Just join us. Let's go to find courses. I'll go to audio and video lectures. There are new courses here. I'll go to audio and video lectures.
Sir, sorry to interrupt. We can able to see the only PowerPoint thing. We are not able to see your Chrome web page.
Ah, sorry. Okay, I'll check again now.
Yeah, if you can click on the share all or share your screen, then we can able to. Right
Okay.
now you just shared your PowerPoint.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So I go to new share.
So you have to stop the share and again click on the share screen. And
Okay.
then you can share the screen, desktop one.
Okay, thank you. Sorry for this. Huh?
It's okay, sir. Thank you.
I'll try again. See, I'm still need to learn more about technology. It's always.
So this is pandemic time. We have enough time to learn.
Yeah. So we didn't miss a lot of things. You can see the screen now, hopefully.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So we didn't miss anything. I just visited the audio and video lectures here from the link. And here we can see all the video and lectures by departments. So we have biology, chemistry, economics, languages, literature, mathematics, physics, political science, all the subjects are there. I will just go to, let's say, mathematics. And here all the courses available in mathematics. Someone would say, okay, what's the use? What's beneficial in using those websites or these courses? I would say, let's say that next year, the students is registering to study calculus, single variable calculus. Next year, I'm going to study this course. Now, in summer or at my free time, I can study calculus earlier and get prepared. Let's say someone is going to register to study maths specialization. They finished secondary school, they want to study maths. I say, okay, go to this website and look at what are you expected to study when you join the university. So just check one of them. Some of them are old, I agree. We'll see some new courses later on. So here you can see all the video lectures. All the video lectures are there with notes, videos. You can download them, you can read them, you can just use your audio player. So this is one of the useful websites. And I'm sure you will have more time to explore them later on. I'll go to Yale University. Yale University. Yale University is also a really well-known and prestigious university. Actually, I took one course with them. I'll just show the subjects they have or departments. American Studies, Economics, English, History, lots of specialization. I took this course with them a few months ago, or last year maybe, Introduction to Psychology. Well, personally, I'm interested in psychology, but I don't have time to go and study psychology in the university, right? I'm busy with other things. So I'm just simply go and study, take those lectures day by day. It's 20 lectures with final exams, with the PowerPoints, everything is there. I'll just show you one of them. Okay, so this is one of them. Yeah. It's broken into small segments if you like to watch them like for short periods. PowerPoints are available as well. All is good here, right? So this is the second one, Open Yale courses. Okay. Simply, if you just type open courseware, and then type the subject that you would like to study in Google. They say open courseware, German, open courseware, economics. You will find maybe tens or hundreds of courses depending on what topic you are looking for. Okay, sorry. Okay, let's move to another one. Open University. As you know, Open University is also famous in the UK, and they offer online distance learning. In Open University, they have a section or a part called Open Learn. If you go to Open Learn, you will find free courses available. The good thing here, it's not like the one we've seen earlier. It's not just videos and that's it. Here you can get badges or certificates to show what courses you already learned and which courses you passed, you finished. So this is, all of our free courses. It's available here. And they are categorized into topics or subjects. And they are also, let's go here, for example, languages. And they are also categorized according to levels. So you can go to introductory level or intermediate. They have intermediate, or they have advanced. So it is organized. See, I can organize them from introductory to intermediate to advanced. Also, I can categorize them according to hours. Let's say you have 1 hour today, you are free for 1 hour, you can take a course for 1 hour. And there are long courses for 24 hours. You can categorize them according to title. Let's say you want to learn German or French or English or grammar, etc. Okay, so this is just for the languages, but there are hundreds of other courses. I would go to maths, let's say. Biology of management, design thinking, diagramming, and also you can search. So I'll just search here for data analysis. Data analysis. Okay. You can get some courses here. Introduction to Data and Information, 20 hours. Oh, this is good for me. I can go and refresh my ideas there. Okay. So that's also a very nice and good example. I took few courses there, and the good thing that, as I said, they give you certificates, and also they show the progress of your learning. They show how much you learned. When did you stop in that course? Because as you know, we are so busy, and sometimes we forget where did we get in our learning or in our courses. And that's why many people would leave the course because they don't remember exactly where they left or their bookmark is. But in Open Learn, they have bookmarks. So you can always go back and continue from where you stopped. I'm sure all of us would know about Khan Academy. It's really useful and very interesting and important. And the good thing in learning in Khan Academy, that you can learn, and this is the person or Salman Khan who established and created this useful website, very creative person. We go to courses, and let's say you want to study maths, you want to study arts, you want to study statistics, you want to study computing, you want to prepare yourself for a test, an international test, you want to learn about electrical engineering, chemistry. It's just amazing. Okay, I will go to statistics and probability because I'm interested in this topic. And we can see that they have all the topics of this course organized, and you can get points for mastering all of these topics. Again, they show you how much you learned, what's your progress, and they give you some incentives. They give you some points to make you happy. They give you badges or certificates to make you happy. Actually, they don't worth a lot. Like, like earning these certificates, it's mostly like attendance. But it's good for you to show that, well, during the past months, I learned 4 courses or 5 courses or 2 courses. So this would help you to organize your time and your thinking. And for our students, it might be helpful as well for their CV. So all these soft skills, as we said before, what's the evidence? Do we have solid examples of improving our soft skills, our creativity, critical thinking? We can use these courses as an evidence that we tried to learn more about these topics. And as you know, learning is always useful. Coursera also, I'm going to skip a few of them because it seems a bit repetitive, because Coursera and University of London and, okay, those two, they are similar in a way or another. You just go to Coursera and register. Okay, I'll just show you the website here. Okay, just go there and register and find what course you would like to take. For some of them, like Coursera, for example, you need to register. In order to get this certificate, you need to pay, I don't know, $50, something like that. I don't remember exactly, because usually I would not buy, a certificate. I just want to learn. If they give a certificate for free, it's good for participation, but I don't pay usually to get these certificates, unless if it's really interesting and useful. Okay, so here in Coursera, there are hundreds of courses which you like to study. It's really, it's well organized. You can search by skills, by duration, but you need to join and then study whatever you like. If you need a certificate, then you need to pay something for the organizer. And this money also helps them to sustain their work and to improve their work. Okay, I'm going to share with you Microsoft Educator. We have only a few examples left. So Microsoft Educator, and as you know, Microsoft has lots of workshops, free workshops. Okay, and this is get started with distance learning about Office 365, let's say. This is good for our faculty members and also for those who are interested to work in schools and in education in general. So special education, emotions, well-being, remote learning, free educator events and workshops. Okay. So we have calendar of webinars. You can just go and, just register, and that's it. And they will send you a notification in your email. You can attend. It's like, some people would like to watch movies or watch soccer games, football. They might watch it for 3 hours. Here you can learn like 3 courses in 3 hours, depending on what you like, okay? So here there are so many examples. I'll just go back. Again, you can find the course which you like. I'm just trying here to show you a few examples which I experiment earlier. Okay. Here also we have something called learning paths. Learning paths, which means that, let's say, getting started with Office 365 and Windows. I'll just choose a basic or simple course to show you. So here, you can study, this is a path. Path means it's like a module or a full course. And here they have these small bits. Every time you can learn one, let's say 1 hour, you will get a badge, and then it would be counted towards your profile. So every time you take a short course, you will get a badge. Once you finish them all, you will get a badge for this one, getting started with Office and Windows. Okay? So now many people would not go to study like in technical institutes or whatever. They just can study these basic things at home. Okay, presentation design, how to create visual. And this is just the basic one. As you know, in Microsoft, they have other advanced for programming, for data analysis, for commerce, okay? I just wanted to show you the things which are basic for everyone. Okay, so that's done. Future Lane, okay, this is one of the best. This is my favorite website. Like I would spend hours and hours in this website. I'll just show you my profile here. I hope it's clear. Here you can see my profile, right? So this is my profile in Future Learn. Here you can see your learning, wish list, profile, setting, account. Okay, so you need just to register once. And then you can see your progress, okay, in these courses. So these are the courses which I study since, let's say, since March. Introduction to Creative Artificial Intelligence, Social Media, Web Analytics. These are courses offered by UK. This one is offered by Australia. This one is offered by the University of Leeds. This is from Bond University, Australia, etc. I'm not going to elaborate more, just to show you that this website is really motivating. The more you learn, the more that you want to enroll in other courses. Sometimes you enroll in many courses that you don't have time to study them all, and you will end up with just finishing 1 or 2. Here you can see your profile, for example. My advice, if anyone would like to begin with OpenCourseWare, start with the Future Learn. Okay, so here we see, after finishing each course, they will give you an electronic certificate. And you can download that, save it in your profile just to, let's say, see your progress, okay? And in that certificate, there are all the information related to when, what, how many hours, the syllabus of your course. So my advice, if you like to learn a course, just go and start with this one. Here, for example, they have also a program. It's like learning path, which includes 3 courses: decision-making, evidence data collection, get creative. And you can see your progress. So here I'm 51%. After I finish this one, I will take those 2 courses. Hopefully, I will get the whole learning path. And this is a very like creative idea, because in that way they make you they have like a kind of commitment to finish all the courses, and you have your own let's say sense of achievement. You can see many subjects here: business, creative, history, IT, language, politics, science, psychology, study skills. So it's suitable for everyone. I'll just focus more on IT because it's the common interest for many people. Okay, where we okay. So far, so good?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sorry for this, just give me 1 minute. I don't know where it disappeared. Okay. Because I have two versions of the PowerPoint, I think I used the old one here. Okay, so that was a short break, let's say. Okay.
No issue, sir.
So Institute of Coding, I mentioned that in Future Learn, but it's worth visiting because they have like public webinars, open for everyone, and you can see it live. So like now, this webinar, they have webinars for programming. And this is one of the examples they have: computer programming for everyone, collaborative working, essential skills, etc. But I'll just show you the newsroom, sorry, because they keep changing their website. Okay. Anyway, when you visit this website, you can see that they have like weekly webinars online through YouTube. So you can watch them through YouTube or Microsoft Teams, okay? And then you get a certificate as well, or a badge for that one. But I couldn't find it right now. I don't know. I'll just write because usually it's worth visiting or joining. Oh, anyway, so I feel a bit confused now. No problems. I found it right now. Okay. So find a course with IS. See, this one, Git and GitHub Basics, Part 2. You can register for that. It's tomorrow. It's from Sunderland University, just for 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour and a half. This is Part 1. I'll just go from the beginning here. See, Coding 1, coding for beginners. Coding, even more curious about coding, Coding 103, Introduction to Object-Oriented Programming. So it's a very short webinars. You can attend them and then discuss with the instructor directly online. Okay, so if you just go to Institute of Coding and then go to find a course with IOC. Okay, Research Academy, I think this is the last one, the last bit, just to have time for the discussion. This one is useful for postgraduate students and for faculty members. Let's say you want to refresh your skills in research. If you go to Research Academy, it's from Elsevier, and they have full program free of charge with certificates for researchers. So you can learn about funding, about research data management, research collaboration, writing skills, ethics, fundamentals of peer review. Okay, I'll just show you an example. Let's say you want to learn more about fundings, how to get fundings for your research. You can attend those webinars. For each webinar, you will get a certificate. Once you finish 4 modules, you will get a certificate for the whole learning path. Fundamentals of manuscript preparation, technical writings. Again, you can learn those 4. I'll just go to this. You can learn these 4 and get a certificate for the whole path. It's really useful because it summarizes the main concepts, the main ideas for research, publication, research funding. Okay, so if you like to keep this, later on in the PowerPoint is available, Research Academy. Okay, I had different examples. This one from last year, the ones I finished last year. But this year I did a good progress in learning more about, let's say, technology, digital skills, data analysis, things related to mobile development, mobile software development. So I would like to share these ideas with you, and hopefully you will have more and more experiences to share. And thank you for listening. And that's my email if someone is interested to communicate with me regarding any kind of research collaboration or to learn more about MOOC or to contribute to our conferences and our university. I'm happy to discuss these ideas with you. And thanks again for giving me the valuable opportunity to present this short webinar. And I'm really happy to listen to your ideas and your experiences. Many thanks.
Thank you very much, Professor, for valuable informations. I mean, really, that MOOCs and OCWs, and then very deep insights, information regarding all the available resources available during the university websites and the online courses. Thank you very much. Let's open for the questions. Let me see if we have a question from the attendees. Otherwise, I have a question. Because being in a part of the engineering education, and I'm delivering lots of online trainings and course curriculum to my students, to my kids during the training hours, such as let's say GitHub for basics, GitHub for the DevOps things, right? So in few things, I'm always concerned about accountability. I'm concerned about accreditation. See, because MOOCs reaching the mainstream has to do with accountability. It is difficult in an online environment to assure that cheating is not happening. The risk of cheating goes up when courses become more valuable to learners, either because they result in in the university credit, or because employers use them when making hiring decisions, such as professional certifications. However, these kinds of incentives are precisely where what we can say, what are required to ensure that these online open source courses where remain one on the scenes long term. So so Professor, I would like to ask what you suggest to solve the problem of accountability and accreditation of the MOOCs in terms of cheating purpose.
Thank you, Professor. This is a really important question, very, very important question. Because, as you said, now people are forced to learn online. It's not an option. Before, it was an option for anyone. If they like to study online, maybe the credibility or the accreditation for that certificate would be lower than attending to the university in traditional way. The main point is about assessment, because if we are still using the traditional assessment just to use test quizzes, traditional exams, then obviously cheating will be there. So we need to be creative, not just in the instructional method, not just in the teaching method. We need to be creative and innovative in the assessment method. So for example, we can create assessment tasks which cannot be replicated. Like I can ask a student, instead of memorizing stuff and writing it in the exam, I would ask that students to create something. For example, if instead of just studying, let's say, accounting, they need to solve real life problems. And these problems are not identical. They need to find a problem themselves and try to find a solution. So in that, this is one thing. The other thing, we can use technology to ensure that the level of plagiarism and the level of cheating is at least manageable. So the more we use, let's say, Turnitin, or we develop our own tools, for example, in Arabic, because we use Arabic sometimes in assessment in our university, sometimes Turnitin doesn't work well because it doesn't recognize Arabic.
Right.
Some people who use Google Translation, they just take things from the internet, translate it, and then, So this is a very tricky question. But if we think about a new assessment methods, which can replace the test, right? We have a challenge. We have lots of challenges. I agree with you. It's not easy because we need to change the whole system of assessment. But the more we focus on the skills and the authentic learning, the practical part, the more they will need to learn in order to pass or achieve their goals. That's really important points, and everyone is concerned about that. So, some people will just put a camera which can go there 360 like degrees just to make sure that nobody around that child or around that student. But it's not practical. They need to
Yeah,
find.
because the method, the way you are suggested, that was proctoring to that online courses. But my major concern is regarding the massive online open source courses available out there. Let's say if we do have courses on Coursera or Udacity, so we do have a number of participants or learners already completed that course, and what they do, they store all the answers in the PDF format with the GitHub and all things. So student can easily find and can,
Mhm.
solve those things, because those online courses are not, not getting updated day to day.
Hmm. Yeah,
So
this
in
is,
that case, yeah,
I agree with you. Some people just have the habit of cheating, even online learning, they want to cheat. But I think from my point of view, learning online and learning through MOOC, it's for those who are really interested to learn. It's not for someone who wants to get a certificate. Like if you, for example, I feel that I have a gap in my
I understand.
understanding.
That is for sure. That is for
Yeah.
sure. But being as in faculty, I am always concerned regarding this accreditation, that
Mm.
that assignment submitted by a student is purely based off of their work and their creativity.
Mm.
Anyway, uh, yeah, why not? Yeah. So another thing I would like to ask, as you suggested that the multiple OCW portal out there, and we can go through those portal, and we can look for the course what we would like to opt and can complete, and as say open learn, where you can have a bookmark that you have to complete that particular assignment or particular online courses from that point. Can we jointly, I mean that sorry, this is out of the topic, out of the webinar topic, but can we do some collaborate project on that, where we can develop a profile recommendation, a project on based on the student can put some technology, and then we can find out the best suitable MOOC and OCW course from the online to that particular profile, so student and faculty and researcher can go through that courses and can have complete that some kind of recommendation things. If you feel it's interesting, we can definitely talk on this
Yeah,
after
sure, sure.
webinar, sir. Masud sir,
Actually, yeah,
yes sir,
thanks
yes
for
sir.
raising this point because in the Arab world, we have our own MOOC, like for
Okay,
example, in Saudi Arabia, but still it's not really common. Like for example, in my university, maybe most of the students are not aware of using MOOC.
okay,
Maybe the English speakers are more, it's more easier for them because most of the MOOCs are in English. The Arabic one is just developing, and most of them are in Saudi Arabia. I began like doing a survey research on understanding learners' experiences about using MOOC. I developed a questionnaire both for learners and instructors. So for example, in my university, I can go to the students and check whether they are using MOOC or not. For those who use MOOC, what are their experiences? What this learning experience contributed to them? Because I'm not specialized in IT itself, I'm specialized in education. But I'm
okay.
trying to see the learning process along with using IT. So I'm happy if we have time in the next few days, we can discuss this with Professor Prasan as well. If there is anything we can work together, which fits our specialization, education and IT. But it's really interesting because we don't need to depend on what's available there. We need to develop our own tools.
Yeah, okay. Just for information, just for your information, my students completed almost 3,000 certification, or I can say 3,000 online courses from the Coursera during last 2 to 3 months of
Okay.
lockdown.
So those will be a good subjects for the study if you are
That's
interested.
why
Yeah. What's other specialization? IT or
this. So no, so computer science and data analytics.
okay, so they are more specialized.
Yep.
It would be interesting to see, like, for example, are the computer science students using MOOC other than other colleges? We can do something like
Yeah.
that.
We can do that. We can do that. Definitely, sir.
Yeah, it would be my pleasure. I have the questionnaires ready. Now I cannot collect data in my universities just because we are in summer holiday. But hopefully by September or October, we can collect
Definitely, sir.
data.
Definitely. Prasoon sir will let. Prasoon sir will let. Sure.
Yes, yes, Professor. Next week, myself, you, and Professor Aditya, we will be in a meeting. Okay, and then let's see how both the institutes they can collaborate, and then let us develop something. Let us do something. Okay.
Looking forward. I think this is the most important thing of
Yes, yes.
doing webinars.
That's why I told that this is just the beginning.
Yeah,
That
sometimes
this is just the beginning, and
go ahead, sorry.
extremely outstanding speech, extremely informative speech, and it's a very well done the way you have delivered the lecture.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. And I hope that you will have, and other colleagues will have a chance to participate also in events in my college. We always welcome
Yes.
international colleagues, and we have strong relationships with India. Like
Yes,
I always like to attend conferences and webinars from India because it's very informative, and we are close to each other. You don't feel like being strange or being,
yes,
you know, it's a very friendly atmosphere, and I really appreciate that. I would like to thank you for this.
Okay, we do have one question from attendees. Yogendra, if you question from
hello.
my mentor.
The question from Professor Lalit Yagnik. So what will be the future of universities, like the universities which have taught the first ever computer courses in 1980? So will there be a traditional university in future in case of, in the appearance of the MOOCs? So what will be the future of the traditional universities in that case?
Yeah, it's a very important question, which we're still trying to find an answer for. Because after COVID-19, I think most of the universities now begin to know the importance of online learning. Because for the last 2 decades, we are saying that electronic and digital learning is important. Nobody's listening. It's just now they find, oh, this is the solution. Why we didn't use it? I think one of the good things about the things which we can change directly is to avoid using paper anymore. There is nothing called paper. Everything should be electronic. Assignments, notes, documents, everything should be electronic. Now we don't use paper anymore. Like I bought a ream of paper now for 6 months. I didn't use any paper, just a little bit. This is one thing. This is good for our environment. And people will begin learning new skills. Now, many people have to learn Zoom and Team and Google Meet. And I don't know. I just need to learn this because if I don't learn it, I cannot proceed with my work. I think if the universities continue with this, saying, well, we managed to have lots of online meetings, committees and events online. Why we don't continue with this? Just to save our time. I think for our students, they need also to develop a sense of responsibility and also a sense of, as we said, avoiding cheating or plagiarism. Once we create good policies to control this, then online learning would be the first option. But I think it's something that's at the top of the universities. The chancellors and the decision makers in the universities, once they see the benefits of this would reduce cost, reduce efforts, and enhance performance, then electronic tools will be available. MOOC is just one thing. Maybe after 5 years, MOOC would be obsolete. Nobody would use MOOC. It might be something new. And this is the interesting thing in the digital production or the digital science. There is always something new. They need to learn something new. If they don't learn something new, they just stop there. And we as academics, we need to have this attitude as well to improve and to develop our policies, our practices, our methodologies to cope with the changes, because our students now are really different from us. Maybe, I don't know, I don't want to say how old I am, but let's say 20 years ago, it was just enough to attend a lecture and do an exam, and that's it. But now there are maybe the majority of people have certificates and degrees. It's nothing really like unique. You need to have innovation, special skills. You need to have or to work on developing your skills day by day, not to wait until the job market say, well, your specialization is not required. So it's really tough question, and I agree with you. We need to think, and as individuals and as communities or organization, to solve this problem.
Okay, and now we have another question from Saran Kalwani. Saran, I make you wait. Yeah, now you can ask the question, Saran.
Yes, so you mentioned that we should all go more online, or there's no need of paper. My concern is that there's still a huge population out there that do not have access to digital tools. They don't have access to internet. They don't necessarily even, own a laptop or something like that. So we've got to be careful into rushing things. At least in the old system, they could attend physically. Paper and pencil are available to everyone. So in order to, replace one with the other, the new technology should be not only easily, but universally accessible to everyone, no matter what your status. That's my observation.
I totally agree with you, Dr. Kalawani. I agree with you. This thing should be gradual. But I'm talking about my context. My context, because Bahrain is a very small country. The population is really small. So things can be, let's say, managed easily. For example, in my country, we have only 2 national government universities. And we have a couple of private universities. But I'm sure in your country, you have thousands of universities. And it's difficult to generalize these practices in a short time. I agree with you totally. But talking about my context, because my country is a bit smaller, and it is easier to, let's say, to offer support for those who cannot use paper, or for those who do not own laptops or internet. So they can go, let's say, to the post office and use the machine there to do their e-government, let's say, requirements. Because we have something called e-government in Bahrain, so all the governmental procedures should be done through that portal. So you don't need to pay cash. Everything is paid online. Your university fees will be paid online. Everything is, but because the country itself is small, and there was like preparation to do the e-government from 20 years ago. But talking about a big country, let's say, even in the Arab world, when you talk about Egypt or Saudi Arabia or Sudan, it's big countries. It's difficult to, and this might be unfair for some people to do everything electronically at one time, but at least to raise awareness. Another thing which is very important is to start with the students from the schools, because students who are there in school now in year 1, after 12 years, they will go to universities or job markets. If we prepare them well to become, as we said, digital citizens, those who are very familiar with the digital world. For example, me, myself, I'm not a digital citizen. I'm not a native digital citizen. I am an immigrant, because I started working with computers when I was in school, in the intermediate or secondary school. I began using online internet when I was in the master degree. So I'm not a native digital citizen. My kids now, my daughter who's 7 years old, 6 years old, she's a native digital citizen, because since she was born, there was a mobile phone, there was an internet. And I think by the time, the more the educational system focus on raising our students' digital skills, the more they will become familiar. And I think India is a great example of how people used internet and digital skills and knowledge to have a new economy. Now, the CEO of Google, right? Who's the CEO of Google?
Sundar Pichai.
Sundar Pichai.
You know, like this is a new economy for the whole world, managed by someone who come from a country that see the value of technology. Technology now is the new economy. And I think my country and your country are trying their best to take this opportunity, because in the future, it's an investment. When we invest in our children now, for example, if they begin learning programming since they were in schools, once they go to the university, to the job market, they will become innovators in technology, not just consumers. Maybe most of the people now are consumers. They buy mobile phones, right? I buy this mobile phone, I don't know, let's say $1,000, let's say. It doesn't worth $1,000. The idea, the creativity in that mobile worth $1,000. And I think moving from being consumers of technology to creators is very important for the universities and the educational system. Moving from being just immigrants in the digital age to natives, someone who work with technology like his mother tongue. It's his own language. They don't face any difficulty. So this is a really interesting discussion. I learned a lot from your ideas and your point of views.
Thank you. I do agree with what you say. It should be gradual, and they should spread it slowly. However, I will also say that we should not forget basic old world skills like art of calligraphy or writing and creating. And we should balance the two, so that, you know, if there is suddenly a world without the digital tool, we can still communicate, we can still create, we can still work with each other. So reading, writing, basic skills, they should continue to be emphasized.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You cannot do something new and forget the basic thing. I'll give you an example from my own experience. Like when you have students in the university in their first year, maybe they are very fluent in using technology, but they are not fluent in communication. They cannot write a report. They cannot express their ideas well. They don't have this kind of let's say, expressing the ideas in a professional manner, because most of the time they are just using their mobile without talking. They just like they type all the time. I agree with you. It's like a human perspective of knowledge. It's not just the technological, and they both complete each other. When we talk about, let's say, the ethical aspects of using technology, we can find people who are very like good as programmers or as digital workers, but they don't have the ethics. So ethics also part of our values, our culture. I agree with you, and this is really a very important thing we need to consider in our universities. It's not just to teach them technology, we need to teach them about their lectures, to feel proud of their language. And now language also, I'll just finish this point with a very important idea. Language is the most important part in culture, and language is also part of technology. Like, for example, now they have the artificial intelligence, which try to recognize speech, right? And they have natural language. They try to understand the natural language. In Arabic or in Hindi or Urdu or other languages, I'm sure in India there are like, I don't know, hundreds of languages or hundreds of dialects. So how technology can recognize those different accents, different dialects, different languages? This is a very challenging thing, and that shows how our culture is really rich. In Arabic as well, you know, like sometimes I talk with Google Maps in Arabic, they cannot understand what I'm saying, because I have like my own dialects. And here we can invest culture in technology. And thanks for raising this point. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Professor. Professor Prasoon, now you can. Yep.
Yes. Thank you so much, Professor. Thank you so much. Yeah, the last point that you raised, definitely we'll be in touch with you. And our students, our Techno engineer students are one of the best of Udaipur, and our institute is ranked in a very upgrade position in Rajasthan Technical University. So many of our students used to go abroad for internship also. Recently, what you told that the project, that means that NLP project, okay, so it may happen that you can invite some of our students, they can go and they can develop something, okay, because